What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sister Time Podcast. I'm Chanel Latrice.
I'm Sharice.
And Siobhan.
And we are very, very happy to see that you guys will come back to listen to us again. How y'all doing this week?
You know.
No, mothering, chaotic, crazy. I got kids and this is always my life.
Not necessarily. Not so much the mama stuff this time around. It's been more of like the content creator stuff. Because, y'all can hear my kids.
I actually couldn't.
Because they definitely hollering right outside the door. I don't know how y'all came. Because, I'm hosting my first virtual makeup class in 2 weeks.
I saw that.
There's the
That's
planning.
cool.
There's like all the planning and getting all that together. And then just like a bunch of other stuff. I've been trying to do more content for like Instagram and stuff of that nature so that I can, get the buzz for this class and then the ones I'll be doing subsequently. And it's just a lot. It's ghetto.
You ain't fucking around, huh? You better get that.
No, I got to get the coins. I don't have no job. I got to make the coins.
Get all the cointage. Excuse me, madam. Well, Sharice, what about you? What you got going on?
Kind of similar on some content creation. My blog and my personal blog back up and running. And just trying to figure out what's going on with this move for myself.
That too. We're trying to find a new place to live.
I've been in this apartment for like 4 years and I forgot how much I hate moving. I don't like it.
Who does?
I don't like it. The apartment that we wanted to get is off the market now. So we got to start over to find another one. And moving to New York is trash because trying to find apartments is a lot because it's so many, like the boroughs are so big that it's like you're just kind of going through so many fucking listings to find one that you like. It's garbage. Everything is ghetto, just so you know.
You call everything ghetto?
Because everything is ghetto. This shit is ghetto.
That's a lot. Now I see. I never had to move like this to a different state. When I went to California, I was in the old folks' dorms.
Right. I was like, when you in college, you just up and move and don't think about the logistics of actually moving to another state.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
Because you don't have like shit, you don't have stuff, and like you can move in like you can move all your shit in like 10
in
boxes.
3 boxes.
Like it's like and most of it is closed because you don't have no furniture, you don't have shit, and it's like you don't have to think about like where you're gonna live because it's like wherever's available, I don't really care. Like
right.
It's just like whatever happens, and then you get grown.
When I went out to California, all I had was my carry-on bag and my check bag. That was it. That was my life. And I was just walking around, find me a little place to stay.
When I moved to Chicago, with 2 Rubbermaid totes and a full-length mirror. We took all my shit upstairs in one trip.
It's a little different now.
By the time I left Chicago, I had so much shit. It wasn't.
Boy, when you get old, when you grow up and you start putting stuff in your apartment, you like, this is ridiculous. Like, who has the time to be moving all of this crap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually been pretty chill, but as you guys know, the job that pays the bills currently is bookkeeping, and it's tax time. So
it is.
I got all that stuff that I've been doing, getting together, making sure it's where it's supposed to be, but beyond that, of course, I'm always studying. Y'all gonna keep hearing about me studying for like 2 years. That's just what it is until I get that certification. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And the party. Cousin's party.
I'm kind of sad I couldn't go. I really wish I would have been able to go because it
was
was like
pretty
really,
cool.
really fun.
It was fun. It was
a
fun.
good time.
I really
It was
wish I
fun,
would have been
and
able to go.
it's funny because it was like the generation above us. They're like realizing like we're really adult. Like
we're grown.
I am on that cusp where they like Siobhan, you and Chris, they all feel like, oh, they just old. Chanel is this weird, Chanel Martell, maybe Charisse is this weird, are they old, but are they not? I don't really know. But
See,
then
it's different
definitely,
for me and
hold on,
Chris.
wait a minute now. But definitely when you get below that, they like, oh, they kids. And it was like we're old enough where Felicia was there. And you got Felicia with Mama, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not." Oh, Erin was there, who's only 22. So they're like, "Yeah,
she's that young."
They're like, "OMG!" Like that, we are partying with our like offsprings, like that generation. They are adults. Kenny said he was like, "Oh, Felicia and Equinetta, I could hang out with them. The way they was getting down, and then your mama." She sure enough thought she had Megan Thee Stallion knees and was getting all down.
She did.
Girl.
She went down.
Wait,
like,
not
don't get
Megan
down
Thee
too low.
Knees.
She started doing the dirt to mine.
Yes, she did.
So I decided I wasn't old today and was gonna do the busted challenge.
I was like, "Oh, you better let people know why you got 7 kids, girl."
Yeah, I decided I wasn't old today and did the busted challenge.
I don't even know what that is.
You did.
I didn't know what it was
old.
either.
But yeah, I decided I wasn't old today. I'm gonna do another one that's a little bit better in the weekend when kids aren't bothering me.
I only saw her do it. I have no idea what it actually is.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. None.
I mean, it's a song. The song is the actual song.
Yeah, that helps.
All right.
It doesn't help.
She samples Nelly. I figured you would,
I like him.
I know, but the song starts with him. And then it goes into it's actually a good song. I actually like the song.
No. And the thing is, I actually like Megan Thee Stallion, but the thing, okay.
It's not Megan Thee Stallion, it's Erica Banks.
Oh, I don't know who that broad is. This is the thing. Sometimes people need to understand when you got a crush on an artist, you don't give a shit about the music like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I listen to Nelly, but I love Nelly.
I get it.
I don't love Nelly's music.
No, but it samples Hot in Here, which is a good song already. And then she didn't make it bad. Because, sometimes they sample songs from like the late 90s, early 2000s. It's like, ooh, you could have kept this shit.
Or just sample, period.
Yeah. But this one actually is a good song. Like, I actually like the song. As somebody who was actively in the clubs when Hot in Here came out, I actually still like this song. Like, it's
Hot in Here.
Hey.
I was in
Don't disrespect my man.
Talking about you taking off all your clothes because it's getting so hot. I'm gonna take my clothes off. just kidding like Jason. Yeah.
Unless you're gonna do it.
Which a lot of people did not get because they're dumb.
I don't even watch basketball and I got it. I had to try to explain it to one of my friends. And she was like, well, I don't get that. I'm like, well, he's referring like Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Well, hold on. She's like, but I don't get it. I'm like Kidd is his last name. So why you say kidding like Jason? I'm like, okay. Kidding,
Nice.
like I'm just playing, but Kidd is his last name. Jason. Yeah. I don't get it. I was like, you know what? I don't want to explain anymore.
But people are dumb, so it is what it is. People are stupid.
All right, I guess we could go ahead and get into it. 9 minutes in. What we got today, Siobhan?
So, the funny thing is the person who inspired what I'm thinking about is actually probably going to hear this, but I'm not going to say their name, so it doesn't matter.
Can I figure it out?
Nah, because you don't know this person.
Okay.
But
is it Lee? It's like, no.
I just said
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But so I have a friend of the opposite sex. Y'all gonna hear me pouring. Sorry.
You should have just poured it prior to.
I did pour it prior to. I finished what I had while we was talking about me and my bad knees. But But so I have a friend of an opposite sex who is in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his partner is really not there for him the way she should be. So
Okay.
he still leans on me a lot. And it's like, so it got me to thinking, when you are in a friendship like that, when does it become you've overstepped your bounds when they're in a relationship?
When the woman is disrespected.
Right. Because
that's the end to me.
But see, this is the thing. This is the thing for me. I don't know her. I don't know her at all. I've never met her. I know of her. She knows of me. Me and him were friends before they started seeing each other. But she's not there for him. So when he has problems, he'll try to talk to her. She doesn't listen. So then he comes to me. But it's like, I'm in this weird place where it's like, am I overstepping? Or like, so like, what is the line there?
I think he is, not you.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
go ahead.
That's like, I don't know, everything he talks to you about, that's sound like borderline emotional cheating.
Even if it's not, even if we don't have that type of an emotional relationship, it's like we don't want to date each other. Like, we're not interested in each other in that capacity.
I don't think emotional cheating has anything to do with the desire of dating anyone. I think it has everything to do with leaning on someone else emotionally. But like I said, I feel like once she feels disrespected, because this is the thing. I can understand you wanting to be there for your friend as a friend. Totally get that. But at the same time, you can't be more invested in his relationship than he is.
Oh, so, I don't care about his relationship. I'm invested in his well-being as my friend.
Wait a minute. This is what I mean when I say that. If it's that bad, he needs to leave. Like, you can't stay at this. But the thing is still, after saying that, you should still take all of the steps as if y'all were not friends prior to this relationship, in the sense of phone calls not after a certain time, certain subjects y'all just don't talk about, different things like that. If he needs to leave, then he needs to leave. And that's what I mean when I say you can't be more invested in his relationship than he is. If it's really that bad to the point where you cannot speak to this person, you should not be there. Or y'all need to go and get whatever counseling it is you need to get. Because I'm not unintelligent, and I understand people get to points where there is a little bit deeper, and they don't want to necessarily be that vulnerable with a new person, and I totally get that. But if you are wanting this to be a legitimate, long-term, deep, meaningful relationship, you have to break down that vulnerability wall. And if you're not willing to do so, you need to go.
Now, take me and my friend out of it, right? If it's a situation, like, because we don't really talk about their relationship. That's a line I tend not to cross.
So what are y'all talking about that he can't talk to her about?
Well, we talk about like his professional, frustrations.
He's getting his cake and eat it too.
Worse.
If you ask me.
If you ask me, I feel like that's worse.
But listen.
Go ahead.
Like today, he was having a very rough day professionally, right? He went to her, attempted to talk to her. She said, I got something to do. I'll see you tomorrow. Completely shut him down, even though he was like really emotional, really having a rough day, really needed somebody to talk to. So another one of his friends called to check on him, see if he was okay. He like, I'm good, don't worry about it. Didn't really talk to her, right? So he called his girlfriend and tried to talk to her again. She says, I'm busy, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mind you, he's super emotional. So by this time, he's crying. Because not just the professional stuff that he was already dealing with, but the fact that she won't even listen to him, that's when he called me. So
wait, see, my thing is, I feel like if you weren't there for him to talk to, he probably would leave his girlfriend or cheat on her. Because he's like, I got this at home. I don't really want, he probably not even like her like that. He just don't want to change. Because for real, how long been together? Can you say that?
A couple months.
He don't leave.
That's what I said. But at the same time, I don't tell nobody.
He's infatuated with something about her.
No,
that's what that
but
is.
This is the thing. He's really invested in the relationship. He's actually really invested in this relationship with her. Like, so he lived in another town, like another city, and he was gonna move to the city that she was in before he met her anyway. But when they met, he pushed up his move date to be with, like, he really wants to be with this girl.
He kind of switched things around in his life to be with her. So he doesn't want to kind of look stupid and leave her. So he's trying to put it together where he can be with her and still get what he needs. That's what that is. If he can have this at home and get it from you, he's like, this is kind of a complete relationship. I just gotta give him two different women. If it's your friend and you see that they're not being wholly fulfilled in their relationship because they're not getting the emotional support that they need, which is something that you do need in a relationship. Sometimes you just need your partner just to be there. You don't need them to say anything. You don't need to do anything. You just need them to be there, right? Mm-hmm. So if it is a case that he's not getting that, as a friend, is it wrong for you to give that to him until he gets the strength to leave?
It's wrong for you to give it to him. It's wrong for you to give it to him because you mentioned, I don't tell people to do in their relationship. So this is my thing. If it's really my friend or any one of y'all or whatever the case may be, what I'm gonna do is like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but it don't sound like you want to be there. Or I'm going to ask, I'm gonna ask, why are you still there? That way you can turn it. That way you can turn it on yourself and then realize, what am I still doing in this relationship?
Now, he did ask me, what do you think I should do as far as she's concerned? I said, I think you need to decide if you really want to be there or not. Because it sounds like she's not fulfilling the role of the partner that you are looking for. And that's okay.
So now I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. Is that how you legitimately felt, or that was your way of tiptoeing around saying you need to leave?
I'm not going to tell him he needs to leave.
But if that's what his question was, then you should answer his question how you legitimately feel.
I don't know if
you should tell people they need to leave a relationship.
I legitimately feel. No, listen, let me talk. I legitimately feel that he needs to assess if he wants to be there or not. Because I don't know her. So I don't know what they have. I don't know their relationship. I've never seen them interact. I only know what he tells me. So I can't say you need to go or you need to stay because I don't know the fools. I don't know both sides. I only know what he tells me. All I can say is I think that you need to assess whether you should be there or not.
But you don't think him asking you that question was part of the assessment?
I think him asking me that question was him looking for me to tell him what he already knows. But I'm not going to do that because if you make that decision, you need to make that decision. You don't need me to make that decision for you.
But that's not always the case. It's not always about you telling me what to do. It's about, I want to know what you would do in this situation. I want to know how you feel about this situation. You can't see this is the thing. Hold on, wait a minute. Because this is the thing that this is one of the reasons why I never ask people about any relationship that I'm in. Mm-hmm. Because if you if any of y'all ever come to me and legitimately ask me, I don't give a damn how it's going to make you feel. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't think you should be there. I think this is bad for you. I don't think that this is really conducive to what it is that you're trying to do in your life. I'm going to tell you that. That's not me saying leave, but that's saying I don't think you should be there.
But this is the thing. I don't think I can say that wholeheartedly, not knowing her. Okay, I don't know her. I don't know. But valid. What I can say
but you can also say, based on what you've told me, I wouldn't be there. I think you should leave.
What I can say is, if you're asking me, that means you're questioning whether you need to be there or not, which means that you need to make the choice. You don't need me to affirm the choice that you already plan to make. See, the thing that most people do is that they don't want to break up until they have a reason. People need to normalize just breaking up because you don't want to be there. That's a reason enough. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to say anything. You don't need me to tell you to leave a place that you don't want to be.
But I don't see. That's why I feel like I differ from a lot of different people. It's not about me saying that I need you to tell me that. It's about, I legitimately just asked you a question. I want you to truthfully answer said question.
But you're in the minority as far as that goes.
Yeah, I think most people actually really they know they need to leave, but for some reason
they want to do, and
they want to hear somebody else say
to reaffirm it, so that they would do what, so that they don't feel like the bad guy when they do what they need to do anyway.
Okay, let's go down that road. Let's say your friend needs you to be that strength for them and let them know, yes, you're doing the right thing. Why are you not stepping up and doing that for them then?
Because I'm not going to tell you to leave your relationship.
But it's
listen. What I will say is, you know what you need to do and what you want to do, and I'm here to support you either way. That's what I'll do, because I can't. No, only knowing once, because the thing is, this is the thing about people. People will tell you time and time again the negatives, and they won't tell you the positives.
Agree.
So it's like you walk into, because this happened with another friend of mine, and I was very vocal about her needing to get a divorce. And that caused a rift in our friendship, because people don't want to hear that. And not once they're not mad. People don't want to hear that when they're not mad.
That's true.
When they're angry, they want you to agree. When they're not angry, they want you to get along.
I think not knowing the other person can be a little tricky to say, go ahead and leave, though. Mm-hmm. Because you are just getting one side of the story.
Especially if I'm only getting it when you're upset.
Okay, because I feel like this... To me, it's almost sound like a back and forth. I'm there for my friend, and it's like, oh no, never mind. I got to be there for both of y'all because I already know what's going on. It's like,
I'm not being there for her.
This is the reason.
This is the reason for my friend is also me not stepping into their relationship.
But if they ask you, I don't understand why people don't step up and say exactly how they feel instead of toting this line of, I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's not about telling somebody what to do. Like I said, sometimes people don't have the strength to leave, and they're not going to do it until they, no, hold on. There's a difference between I support you either way and saying, yes, you need to get out of this situation. That is way more affirming of, okay, now I know for sure, for a fact, I have somebody that has my back of me doing exactly what it is that I should have done. I know I should have done it. I didn't have the strength to do it before, but now since I know I have somebody that's really going to be there for me, and that's 100% behind me with the decision that I'm making, I have the ability of going ahead and doing it versus the 50-50, well, I'll support you if you stay or I'll support you if you go.
How can you tell somebody to go if you don't know the other party, though?
Because the whole point is, that's also why I said, from what you're telling me, it don't sound like you need to be there.
What I said, because we talked about this today, and we talked about this 2 days ago, because 2 days ago, something else happened. And what I said to him was, from the information that I have, I wouldn't stay there. But I also understand that you want to see where it goes because you feel like you've invested in this person. So I get that side of it too. Personally, I wouldn't stay there because I feel like you're going to continue to invest, and by the time you realize it's not worth it, you're going to be really, really emotionally invested. So I think it's better to get out before you have the extreme emotional investment. But I also don't know the other side of this. So it's hard for me to affirmatively say one way or the other.
that's also a different statement from what you said earlier of, I support you either way.
I mean, I did say I support you either way. I said that too.
But
all of this is one statement.
I'm gonna say, you could say, I don't think you should be there, and I'll support you whatever you do. I don't see why you gotta be one or the other.
I didn't say it had to be one or the other. What I'm saying is, if somebody's saying, if I come to you and, you know, all this stuff is going on in the relationship, and I say, what do you think I should do? If the first thing you say is, I support you either way, that's different than the first thing being, what I heard, this is what I would do. That's two different statements to me. In my eyes, the first thing that's said is the most important thing that you meant to say and how you really feel, and everything else is fluff around it.
Because the first question he asked is, what do you think I should do? And I said, I can't tell you what you should do based on half of information, because I don't know the other side of the story. Then the question was, what would you do? And I said, well, if it was me, based on the information that I have, I would get the fuck on. But that's me. Then it was, well, I've invested in this person and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, and that's fine. And I understand that you want to see if you're investing in the right person. That's fine. I'm also a big fan of cutting your losses before they become major losses. But I support either decision, because at the end of the day, you're my friend. We're not a couple. We're not, none of that. You're my friend. So as my friend, I'm going to support your decisions because I'm here for you. And whatever makes you happy is enough for me. But if this person isn't making you happy, then I have an issue.
I like it. I think it covers all bases.
No, and to me, 100%, I felt like those statements, those responses to each of those questions go more along the lines of what I was initially saying. It's just that when this was first brought up, it sounded as if you were saying like,
it's because I didn't give the whole entire conversation. I realized as we were talking that maybe I need to give the whole conversation to give more context to it.
Yeah, because
it's just
like I was saying, you know, sometimes a big thing. I mean, like, think about, we're all old enough. I'm pretty sure each one of us has known or have been in some type of abusive relationship. Either we have been in it, or we know someone that has been in one.
I know people who've been in one. I don't think I've ever been in one.
Okay, and then
I had one person attempt, and I told this nigga if he hit me, I'm not just talking
about physical.
Other kind of abuse.
No, I know.
Mental, verbal.
I personally never had that, but I have known people who've had it.
But this what I mean, like, just think about those situations where people, they may want to leave, but they don't do it until they feel like they got somebody that's really got their back, that they can legitimately 100% lean on. So that's what I mean when I say sometimes, regardless of what's happening in the situation, because I mean, based upon what you just said and what she was doing, to be honest, she don't sound like she's emotionally there, which to me is a form of emotional abuse. But
she for the streets in real life.
But this is the thing. If it's anything like that, and it's some type of abusive relationship, maybe they didn't tell you. Especially men, they're embarrassed when they're part of an abusive relationship, when they are the one that's being abused. So you are correct. Maybe you don't know everything that's going on, but sometimes people, even though they don't say it, they are still looking for somebody to say, I got your back. When you decide that you are going to leave that relationship, I will 1000% be there for you. And they won't leave that relationship until they feel like somebody is there. And the worst thing for people that has been in abusive relationships is when they feel like someone, or feel like the person they're leaning on, or they thought they could count on, is that teeter-totter, because now it feels like, are you here for me or are you here for them? And if I can't tell which one you're here for, I'm still not going to do what I got to do, because I don't know if you're really going to be there for me when I 100% need you. And that's what I mean when I say sometimes the hard truth, whether people want to hear it or not, or Whether you want to feel like the bad guy of telling someone they're supposed to leave or they should leave, whatever the case may be, every now and then your friend, sometimes that's what they need to hear from their friend, saying you need to get out of this situation. I wouldn't be in this situation if I was you. I don't think this is good for you. Sometimes they are legitimately looking for that, even if it does label you the bad guy that told them to break up. So what? For me, I'm willing to take that. If I know this shit is not good for you and your well-being, I will be labeled the bitch. I don't care. I don't think you should be there.
I told him going in, I said, look, I get that's your girlfriend and whatever else, but at the end of the day, I'm your friend. I don't give a fuck about her. That's just what it is. I don't even meet nobody's. I try not to meet my friends' partners until they've been together for a long time, because when y'all break up, guess who the fuck I'm not talking to no more? Because if you don't fuck with them, I don't fuck with them. That's just what it is. Like, we're not friends. Like, I'm not friends with your partner. I'm friends with you. That's I don't need to be friends with her. I don't need her number. And this goes for my female friends too. I don't need their number. I don't need shit from them. Mm-hmm. We're not friends. Like, I'm not that bitch. Like, I have friends that I've had forever and a day. I don't like my best friend's getting married. She's engaged. She's getting married. I don't even know her fiance. I think I might have talked to him once. But for what? Like, if she's happy, I'm happy. But the second you fuck up, guess who I don't fuck with no more? That's just what it is. I'm not your friend.
And if you ask me, I feel like that's exactly how it should be. And sometimes friends, sisters, cousins, mother, aunt, uncle, whatever, sometimes they need to hear that again. Yeah. To be like, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
I told him, look, I'm here for you. Whatever decision you make, I'm in your corner. I don't give a flying fuck about her. I'm here for you. Whatever you need from me, I'm here for you. Like, that's just what it is. I don't care about her whatsoever. And this goes for all my friends, and they all know that. Mm-hmm. You can call me day or night because I'm here for you. I don't need to get to know them. I don't care about them. You care about them. So I care in the sense that they're making you happy. And the second that they don't, guess who the fuck don't exist in my world? Because boyfriends and came and went, girlfriends and came and went. I don't know these hoes. Once y'all break up, guess who the fuck I don't know who they are anymore.
Not these hoes.
Yeah, that's why I don't like to get too invested. Like, give me some.
I don't get invested. Like, I don't get invested in people's significant others. People, I don't care. Y'all know, and it's funny because y'all can say this about me. Even the people like you and Sean. How much do I talk to him? I like him well enough, but how much do I genuinely talk to him? Because that's your man. I'm not investing in him. If y'all ever break up, guess who the fuck I'm not talking to no more? Like, that's just how it is. That's how I am.
But that also goes back to what I was talking about as far when you were first saying, like, you know, like what we do in a situation if it was our friend that would, you know, that's in these situations. It's like you can't get into it that much until they legitimately ask you what it is that you should do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sharice, you look confused. Oh,
no.
Yeah, it's like you can't get into it that much, friend or not. I have two male pretty good friends. I wouldn't call either one of them best yet, but I have two really close male friends. I do not get in their relationships at all.
If you don't invite me in, I'm not there.
Right.
And one of them, his wife does my hair. I'm still not getting to that. No, her and I, no, we don't need to talk when you're doing my hair. He and I, we don't need to talk when you're doing my paintings. No, they ain't got nothing to do with me. That's on y'all.
Yeah, if you don't come to me, I'm not gonna ask you how y'all are doing. I'm not asking you that. Like, I'm not that person. And anybody who is friends with me, y'all can say the same thing. I don't ask y'all how y'all doing. If you want to tell me, I'll listen because you need to vent. but I'm not getting invested. I don't have opinions. It's not that I don't care. I don't care about your relationship. I care about you.
Me.
Exactly.
Right. I don't have an opinion until you ask me. I will not. I'm not
care
giving
about
anything
your relationship.
unsolicited.
I care about you. Like I don't give any advice unsolicited because I realize people can't handle that shit.
I had to learn that.
I don't give unsolicited advice. Now, if you
people not ready for it.
I had to learn that.
People just don't want to hear. People not ready for it. If you just be talking, nobody care.
People don't want to hear when they do ask.
What I always say is, are you looking for my honest opinion, or do you want me to agree with you? What are you looking for?
I don't even do that. I just flat out tell them, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? I
always ask what you're looking for, because if you're looking for me just to agree, I'll tell you right away, you need to find somebody else, because if I don't agree, I don't agree. And I'm not going to tell you I agree.
That's why I don't even give that. I'm just like, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. So do you want me to tell you the truth or not? Okay. Yes, I know. I'm like, okay.
Because my question always is, do you want my honest opinion, or do you want somebody to agree with what you said? Because if you want somebody to agree with what you did, then you might need to move around. Because if I don't agree, I don't agree.
Not move around.
You got to go find somebody else. I don't know. Like, bitch, if I don't agree, I don't agree. Shit, I don't know what to tell you.
The phrases you choose to use blows my mind sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you
need to move around.
People who listen to all of our podcasts have heard me say baby dick skin, so it is what it is.
Oh, you weren't supposed to say it no more. I'm gonna tell Bo.
There was absolutely no reason for you to say that here.
I wanted to say it just to get y'all reaction.
I just want everybody listening to know that Chanel has nothing to do with baby dick skin. Siobhan said it. She's the only one that says it. She's the only one that decides she wants to talk about it. Don't
say no, because in context it made sense.
Don't come for Chanel or Sharice.
In context, if you got to go listen to Crime and Wine to understand the context, it made sense.
We're not about to do no shameless plugs.
I mean, I'm always plugging one thing or another. Y'all want to hear about Bret Michaels and his army of skanks? Go listen to Reality Rewind.
We don't. We don't.
Plugs
actually.
All the way around.
All right, what's next? We ain't doing this shit.
But no,
You're funny.
Like, that conversation really did get me to thinking, like, what are, like, the boundary? I know we're like 40 minutes in, but, you know, that led me into other thoughts, because this just happened, like, right before we started this. Like, what are the boundaries? Like, in a friendship, especially a friend of the opposite sex, because a lot of people say you can't be friends with somebody of the opposite sex without there being some type of sexual tension. And I don't believe that, because a lot of my friends are males that I've never had any, like, sexual anything towards. And shit, y'all know half of them. Hell, I also hang out with a lot of gay boys, but that's beside the point. But it's like, even a lot of my straight male friends, like, we talk about, you know, different things and everything else, but it's like, as the friend, especially the friend of an opposite sex, if you were the girlfriend in that situation, how would you take it?
I wouldn't take it that well. I don't think, Sean should be leaning on anybody else emotionally and can't talk to me. If he feels like he has to do that, I have to look at what I'm doing and why he think he can't come to me. Because that's why we're in a relationship. If you have to look outside, then there is a problem inside, and we got to fix that. So I wouldn't like that at all. If I was to find out that he's talking that much or leaning on that much emotionally, that wouldn't go for me.
I would not like it, but I totally would not blame the friend at all.
Oh no,
it would be complete. No, I'm not saying but it would be completely and totally on me and him. It's our fault. It's our fault. It's nothing to do with the female. It's our fault. I have been doing something that made you think that you were not able to come to me, or you
just don't want to be there.
or you have not let me know. Like, even if I'm not doing anything, maybe you just are one of those people who are who's been uncomfortable with being that vulnerable with new people. So you just didn't know that you were able to come to me. Not necessarily that I did something, but you did not know that you were able to, just because you're the type of person that's been hurt constantly. So the one female that hasn't hurt you in your life, you keep leaning on her, but you need to understand that I'm supposed to be in that position at this moment. So I would say I wouldn't like it, but it would be like 50-50 on me and him, and have nothing at all to do with the friend.
See, I look at it a little differently. And this is why. Because I believe that every relationship in your life plays a role, right? I firmly believe that there's no such thing in one person being everything to somebody else. So I feel like in a situation, sometimes you need to, because everybody develops relationships, whatever they may be, for the different reasons, because they stimulate or fulfill a different part of what you need, right? So if it's a situation that you feel like you need to go to your friend, male or female, about it before you come to me, then I don't have a problem with that. Now, if you try to come to me first and I didn't pick up the cues, or I didn't fulfill what needed to be filled, and then you go to your friend, now I don't have a problem with you. I need to look at myself, because I need to understand why I didn't see that you needed me in that sense that forced you into going to somebody else. But as far as like going to a friend, whether it be male or female, before you come to me about something, I don't take that personal, because maybe you needed whatever that person gives you before you needed what I give to you.
I think it depends on what it is. I just feel like serious emotional stuff, you should come to your partner for.
I don't think that 100%. I don't feel like that 100%, just because it's like I said, every person in your life gives you something different. So maybe in that really emotional moment, you might need what this person gives you versus what your partner gives you versus what your sister gives you versus what, you know what I'm saying? It depends on what you need in that moment. And you know what you need in that moment. So
that's true, but
you going to a friend before you come to me doesn't necessarily signify something wrong in our relationship. It just means that you needed whatever that person provides, that is not something that I provide.
I don't know. If you always go to someone else and like never me, I will feel some type of way. If it's I can never connect with you emotionally.
If it was always that, that's one thing. But if it's situationally, if it's always you go to somebody else before me, then that just means that we don't need to be together.
Like if you get a promotion at a job, you call your friend before you call me. I have a problem with that. If the case is you always, every single time, go to somebody else before me, that means we don't need to be together, because we're not connecting in the same way, to the point where you feel like I need to share in your happy, you're sad, you're this, you're that, all the time. If it's always somebody else first, then we don't need to be together. But if it's like situationally, like you have a bad day at work and you call this friend to vent because maybe they understand your work struggles better than I would. Or if it's like you're having a fucked up day with your family and you call this other person because they might understand your family struggles better than I would because they have history or whatever else, that's fine. But if it's every single thing you're going to somebody else before me, now we don't need to be together. You got something to say. What is she thinking? You trying to figure it out?
Because I think I kind of understand where you're possibly coming from.
Who, Siobhan?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I gotta process it.
No lie, I wish I had something to write each thing down, because every time you said something else came to my head. Okay. But okay, so first off, the different people are there for different reasons, you know, whatever relationship, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. Okay. I can understand that statement.
Okay.
Only as long as the people in the relationship both feel that way. Because one big problem is you have one person who wants this and one person that wants this and try to come together, and then they wonder why it's not working.
But that don't have nothing to do with me as a friend. That's the people in the relationship.
Wait a minute.
I'm waiting. Hold on. I'm waiting.
Because, like, for example, someone like you and I, we not the same, because I feel like you need to come to me. You ain't got to go to somebody else. You should be coming to me. So a guy that thinks the same way you do would never work in a relationship with you. A guy that thinks the same way I do, I'm sorry, a guy that thinks the same way I do,
I get it.
A guy that thinks the same way I do wouldn't work a relationship with you, and a guy that thinks the same way as you wouldn't work a relationship with me. So when I'm in a relationship with someone who thinks like you, and he's going out to these different people because he doesn't see anything wrong with it, I'm gonna be pissed off. And now I'm gonna feel like there's something going on in this relationship that we need to fix. While you, on the other hand, couldn't give two shits that he did that, because you just like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah, he got to get it from somewhere, right?
Because it's exactly. I just think it's unrealistic. This is why I say the Western version of monogamy is very unrealistic to me.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. This is the thing. I think there's a very, very fine, when I don't say, when you say everything, I think you mean 100% everything. When I say everything, I mean, hold on, because when I say everything, I mean everything that matters. Everything that matters.
What matters? How
that's
do you
subjective.
quantify that?
Exactly.
That's very subjective.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I need to get with somebody who thinks the same way I do, versus someone who actually literally mean every single thing, which is what you mean. That's not what I mean. To me, when I say you need to tell me everything that matters, that means I need to know, I need to be the first person that you tell when you get a promotion. I need to be, but I don't care if I'm the first person that you told because you got into it with somebody at work. You see, so both of them is at work, but one I feel is something that matters and is important. The other one is a frivolous thing that just kind of happened.
But this is what I'm saying when you think about the Western version of monogamy. Like, monogamy, as we're taught, is that you are literally everything to your partner. Your partner has no reason to talk to anybody else, to have any other relationships.
I think that's a misconception.
Yeah, that's not what I mean.
I have to disagree with that.
Based on, just based on what I've seen and who I've talked to. Again, everything I say is from my life experience, right?
Right.
I don't speak for the masses because I don't know everybody. I don't even know enough people to say I know a sample size. Based on my life experience, a lot of people that I've encountered through my however many years of life expect for in a relationship, that means that you are literally the end all be all for that person. And I think that that's a fallacy, because the reason why we develop different relationships is because different people spark and contribute to different parts of ourselves, because as people, we're very complex, right? And if you think about just in your friend group, you don't do the same things with every single friend, because those people don't speak to the same parts of you. And I feel like when you get into a romantic relationship, you need to quantify that in the same way. It's like, so as your partner, they speak to you in this way and they fulfill these parts, but that doesn't mean that, this friend who may have these similar interests and fulfill these other parts has to get pushed back and not necessarily as involved in your life, which I think a lot of people think that's what's supposed to happen. Again, based on my life experience and my however many years and all the people that I've met, that's not saying, I don't speak for the masses. I'm not saying that that's 100% how it goes, but this is just what I've experienced.
I think you can have friends, you can talk to your friends, but to me, it's very hard to identify what important is because that is subjective. Mm-hmm. But things that like emotion that hurts you emotionally, I feel like I should know. You should be able to lean on me. And if you feel like you can't, we need to figure out why you can't.
But in this case, in the case of my friend, he went to her first, twice, before he came to me.
See, I feel like this situation is different because, I mean, let's all
she doesn't sound emotionally available.
Who does it?
This girl.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like this situation is a little different. I don't want to call her out her name, but she don't sound like she want to be in this relationship. So that's a little different. So that's a very, very specific pinpointed situation right here.
I mean, she really is for the streets, but you know.
So if you're talking, I mean, if we're talking, you know,
I know she be out 4 days out of the week. Like
if we're talking like overall and all of that, that's a different situation than specifically what's going on here. Because as we can all see what's going on here, she doesn't sound like she wants to be there. And that's a totally different situation. Now, if we're talking about a girl who didn't know or she thought she was doing what she was supposed to do, that's a different subject. But this particular situation, she sounds like she don't want to be there.
Yeah, she's for the streets.
And and honestly, I don't know your friend, but he sounds like he's forcing it, and he should stop.
I mean,
he does sound like he's forcing it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like he's already invested. I feel like once you invest time in somebody, it's hard. Like you gotta start over. Oh my God, everybody about to do that.
And people wonder why I be cutting people off so fast.
She bullied him into the relationship. That was the thing. Like, they met and they started seeing each other, and she kind of pushed the relationship way faster than he wanted, but he allowed it. And I told him, I said, you let her bully you into this relationship that she didn't really want to be in, but it's because on paper you fit her checklist. And you weren't looking for a relationship whatsoever.
Mm. Are they in their 30s?
Yeah. Well, he is. I don't know how old she is. I know she just had a birthday, but it's like, okay, so with them, I'm going to have to text him and let him know that I kind of talked about him without saying his name, just so if he hear this, he don't be like caught off guard. So I'm going to have to text him tonight. But yeah, I'm going to. But like with him, he was like, I don't really want a relationship right now. I'm like focused on my career and, you know, all this other stuff while I like, cause he's in his early 30s, right? He's like, cause the next relationship I have, I want it to be the person who's going to be my wife. You know, I want it to be the person who's going to be the mother of my kids, the person who I'm going to, he was like, cause I'm dating with intention. Like my intention is to get married. Like I'm not just out here dating just because. So I don't really want a relationship right now because I know what I'm trying to do. And I said, I respect that. That's cool. And then he met her and they were having fun at first. And then like they met in September, August, somewhere around there. And her birthday was about a month and a half after they met. And she planned him into her trip for her birthday. And I was like, she's forcing a relationship. Like you're going to be her boyfriend. She's decided that. And he was like, no. I said, you don't see what's happening. I'm telling you what's happening. So I have been trying to tell him from the beginning exactly what she was doing, but he didn't see it. And now he's in this relationship that he didn't really plan on being in, but now he's invested. And I'm like, well, now you're in a place where, because she got you, she thinks that she can be in a relationship and still run the streets 4 days a week. Like the other day, was it Friday, Saturday, something like that? He came home, he cooked this big dinner, like he cooked like some type of shrimp pasta, and he like was poaching pears and all kinds of shit. She came home with her. She came to his house because she has a key to his house, which I also thought was a little wild because they haven't been together that long. But she came to his house with her friend. They both ate the food he cooked, and then they went out. And he had all completely planned and had told her that he planned on them having a nice dinner, staying home, whatever else. And I'm like, you don't understand that she's for the streets. She wants to run the streets. But now, because you've been bullied into this relationship, now you're trying to make something that isn't there.
She's just red-shirting him.
She
until
is.
She's ready.
That's exactly what
the
she's
relationship doing. Especially if she's around that late 20, early 30 age. She's like, okay, getting a little older. I need to find somebody, but I'm not quite ready yet. So let me get this guy who checks up all of these boxes, and I see he's not going to go anywhere. Let me get this out of my system. Then when I'm done, I'll have him. That's what she's doing.
That's what I told
I don't know her, but I think.
I don't know her either, but that's what I told her. It sounds like to me too. I was like, she keeping you on the bench until she's ready to settle down. That's what because her parents like him, all her friends like him. He fits the image of what she wants. You know, because he has his master's degree. He's studied abroad. He has a good job. He fits all her checkpoints. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that she is as invested in it as he is.
She probably like the idea of him, not him.
Exactly. She gets him, like I told him, I said, I think that you get her out of what her lifestyle was. Because it's like she doesn't, I mean, she has a decent job. Like, I'm not going to shit on her at any capacity, but her life as a whole, from what I understand, isn't together. You know what I'm saying? And all of her friends are with drug dealers.
That's cool.
And right.
Not that's cool.
So all her friends running around in like Fendi and Gucci and this and that and this and that. And he can buy those things for her, but he also don't risk jail time. So now it's like she can keep up with her friends, but then she can say that she's like a little bit above because he's legal. Because he has his regular job, but he's also a professor at the college in their town and this and that. So it's like he fits this mode of what she thinks the ideal partner is.
What are you about to say, Chanel? Are you about to say something?
I'm getting irritated because the person below me decides he wants to hang pictures up at 9:00 in the evening. I keep hearing the freaking hammer on the gosh darn wall, so it's getting on my nerves.
I thought you were about to say something.
I definitely heard it. I was confused as to what was going on, but I kept talking over it.
Hang some shit up tonight. So
no, I definitely heard it. And I was like, I'm gonna keep talking because I don't know what the fuck is going on, but
getting on my nerves. But go ahead, sorry.
That's it for her. She's just redshirting him. She benched him until he's ready to start, and that's about it. It sounds pretty clear to me. But like I said, I don't know the girl. I could be wrong.
I don't know the girl either. It
sounds like he's a pretty good dude, and she's just not ready yet. But she don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
So that's that.
For me, I just wanted to, it was more like I had a question of whether I was overstepping. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I crossing those lines and those boundaries?
To me, honestly, with you even asking that, it sounds like you think you might be.
Yes and no.
You use her logic against her.
I did.
Then she say, like, if you ask.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Flip.
Yes and no.
But I mean, if the yes is there at all, that means you shouldn't be doing what you're doing there.
No, I'm not gonna say that. The reason why I say the yes and no, it's like I felt yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever the day it was, I slightly felt like I was overstepping because I told him that I would leave. that felt like a step over what that line was. But I don't feel like I'm overstepping by being there with my friend. I felt like a step over in the sense that I told him that I would leave the relationship.
I don't think I would leave is a step. If you say, no, you better leave, you need to leave this, blah, blah, blah. I think that's more of an overstep.
It's but even in telling him that I would leave the relationship felt like an overstep to me. But not in the sense of being there to support my friend when he needs me. That doesn't feel like an overstep. You look like you have a lot to say.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I don't. No, I don't. I don't have a lot to say. I said what I said. Like, as far as like with you saying like, I don't know if I overstepped. It's like, if you got to ask that, that means in my eyes, if you got to ask that question, that means you felt like something you did was an overstep. And now you're like, oh shoot, maybe I should have did that, or maybe I shouldn't have said that, maybe I shouldn't have went that far or whatever. Because if you legitimately feel like there was nothing you did that would have been an overstep, I feel like that would never even be a question, because it doesn't even come across your mind. Because like, you don't, like, if somebody thinks that somebody's cheating, like let's say she thought that he was cheating on her with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know good and hell well cheating is not what's happening, right?
Right.
Which means that question never even comes in your head, because you know it's not even going down that road.
Right.
But once the question comes in your head, you know, shit, something I did or said is gonna fall into that category.
Again, that's why I said I think the only place where
even if it's not the intent and it's just the perception.
But that's why I said the only place I think where I might have stepped over the line is in telling him that I would leave the relationship, because that's not normally something that I would do. I normally don't speak in that way to tell people. I don't even put myself in other people's relationships, and more often than not, he caught me it was late and I was drunk, so here we are. But it was like, because we were talking till like 1 a.m, and I was drinking rum the entire time. So I even stepped outside of what I normally do and saying I would leave. I don't do that. That's not really my thing. Because it's just like, who the fuck am I to tell you to leave or not to leave or whatever else? I just know what you tell me. And if what you tell me is like, she ain't shit, that's all I know. I don't know her. I don't even know y'all when y'all happy, because you're not telling me that. Because people don't talk about the good shit. They talk about the crazy shit, right?
That is absolutely true.
So yeah, that is true. I don't know. And that's why I normally don't say if I was in this situation or I would, or I don't do that. So that's the only place where I feel like I stepped out. But even when he called me today, we didn't talk about her. It was about, what do you need from me? Because I'm not here to tell you what she should do, could do, would do. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I know my friend is upset, and I need to know what you need from me as your friend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, and the fact that it just happened is why it even came up in the first place. Because it was like I was talking to him, and then 5 minutes later we started this. So that's why it even came up in the first place.
Well, alrighty then. I guess, is that the end of that conversation? Yeah.
Sure.
Alrighty. Well, as far as the stepping over bounds, it depends on you, your friendship, the other person. I just feel like it's stepping over bounds once the other person feels disrespected.
I get
Agreed.
that.
Agreed.
I get that.
And that's basically it for me.
I feel you.
All righty. Well, I guess that's a nice way to go ahead and close this conversation out. Thank you again, guys, for listening to us babble on for another hour. We will be back next week with another topic. Hopefully, we shall see a couple more viewers again next week. You can catch clips of this on YouTube as well as Facebook. All right. Yeah. All right. Peace out, guys.
See ya. Bye.